My name is David Casella, nurseryman at Earth Works, also palm tree specialist. I'm going to go over the shipment of Phoenix Robellinis that we received in today, otherwise known as Dwarf or Pygmy, P-Y-G-M-Y Date Palm. Shipment of 18 Pygmy Date Palms were received earlier today. And these grow slow, 4 to 6 inches, maybe 8 inches a year, and max height maybe 12 to 15 feet is max, so they're considered a dwarf. They're native to the country, Southeast Asian country of Laos, L-A-O-S, Southeast Asia. Of course, they come in tied up, so they are protected in shipping, and they're covered and tarped to protect them in the travels from wind. It's one of our most commonly selling palms, probably our top 3. The spread on them usually is only about 6, maybe 7 feet in diameter, so they go very good in a small bedding area, a center part of the yard, or even in a screen enclosure because of their small stature. Very good palm, and they're cold hardy to about, I would say, mid-20s, mid to upper 20s, depending on the exposure and duration of the freeze, but they're subtropical palms, so they can withstand temperatures 5 to 6 degrees below freezing. Here's your solitary one. This is typically how they grow. They're not a non-clustering or non-offsetting palm. They grow as solitary, but you see them more commonly as triples over to my right and doubles to my left. I'll show you what a head looks like on them. Soft feathery leaf, pinnate, P-I-N-N-A-T-E is the classification of this leaf type. But as you can see, these were all germinated as single seeds, and they were planted at a young age in a container, and they grew in the container and then eventually were transplanted to the field, and now they're a naturally grown in triple. This is the old leaf base where the previous frond was attached in the fiber, and once that tree gets a little older, you'll start to see the fiber and leaf base come off, and you'll have your permanent adult trunk here. Kind of reminds me somewhat of a reptile, like an alligator or something. You have the old persistent leaf bases here. They're like little spikes, but that's what the mature trunk will look like eventually. And I'm going to show you the root system. It's amazing that these trees grow in a small little piece of earth in the tree farm. Of course, they're fibrous roots. And what's unique about these palms, they have a anchoring root system. This is caused from maybe if it floods or they receive a heavy amount of rainfall in the tree farm. It elevates itself, and these roots are called anchor roots or buss, B-U-S-S, like the word bus, but with 2 S's, bus roots. It's just the tree actually tries to lift itself up to dry out, so it creates this aerial or bus roots, which is really unique. It also stabilizes them and anchors the tree even better too when these roots form. You'll see them more commonly on more adult sized trees, maybe that are 10 years plus. These are probably about 4 to 6 years old, the grower informed me. After the trees are untied and priced, they're brought into our retail area here in the nursery. We have our single section. These are 4 to 6 feet in height, single Pygmy Date Palm. Then we have our double, 4 to 6 feet, and there's some larger ones in the back too. And then the triple ones are down in this section. Here's a nice triple right back here. And let me tell you a couple things. As they sit here, the ground may be uneven, the surface at which they sit, and or the root ball. So this tree here, just because one is vertical and one's off at a 15-degree angle, doesn't mean that's how it's going to be planted or look in the homeowner's yard. This can be adjusted. This one, as you can see, is putting out new roots already, which is good since it's been trimmed and root pruned at the tree farm. But this can be turned and straightened up and, planted at an angle. You can have it perfectly vertical. You can have it leaning this way, or maybe leaning forward over a waterfall in a pond feature like this. So there's many different ways to set these up. And I definitely recommend, like with all the palms, to fertilize these 3 to 4 times a year with a good premium palm fertilizer that has high content of magnesium and potassium, and also some Southern Agriculture chelated palm nutritional, which is a liquid feed, instant vitamins. That's a foliar spray. Right here in the center of the palm is the spear leaf, and a few inches down below is the heart or the apical meristem, the growth zone, with that palm nutritional liquid. It's 3 capfuls per gallon of water. You can apply it in 2 ways, with a gallon jug around the root, and also spray the whole entire palm with the nutritional as a foliar spray, just as if you're spray painting it. And you can do that monthly. It's very good. Instant vitamins reacts a lot faster than the granular feed. We probably receive 15 to 20 shipments per year, more highly in the spring. As the spring season comes in, that's our peak time, so a lot of people are coming out of winter and redoing their projects or yard. It may be a new house. So I'll go over here to our containerized palms. I'll show you the different sizes that they are available in, starting off with our smallest size, the 3 gallon. They also come in singles, doubles, and triples. It's a smaller guy, so he's probably 3 or 4 years old. They grow him from seed and then put them in containers. This is a 3 gallon. And then our next size is the 7 gallon palm. Also offered in doubles, triples, and sometimes quadruples. Just wanted to show you something as far as trimming. You can see this one yellow frond here. Now, one person may think, oh, it's sick or it's not healthy. Not true. As long as that's coming from the base of the palm, it's just time for that frond to decease. It's ready to be cut off and be replaced from a new one from the top here. Sometimes it's kind of hard to tell. It looks like they're coming from the new growth because it's a multi-trunk. So you have to trace it and make sure it's coming from the bottom of one of the trunks as being one of the aged fronds, to make sure it's just time for that to expire versus some kind of nutritional deficiency. Very important. And then after our 7 gallon, we offered in a 15 gallon, a single, double, and triple as well. So this is basically an intermediate size between the field-grown 4 to 6 and the smaller containerized sizes. You can follow us on Earth Works Facebook page, Instagram, and on our YouTube channel, Earth Works Jax.